This is the Ben on Beer Show with Ben Rayberg and Donovan Atkinson.
Hello and welcome to the Ben on Beer Show for February 22, 2013. This is show number 13. We're getting kind of back on another routine schedule, and that's actually going to change after this show. But at least they'll still be regular. We dropped off of regular shows back in December, but I think we're back with some regularity now. This is a show about beer, the brewing, the business, and the people. I'm Ben Rayberg, and with me is...
Donovan Atkinson. How?
With Anero Media. What's the last beer you drank?
Does your cider count?
Yeah, I suppose it would.
Okay.
How was it, by the way? You're the only other person...
You really want me to talk about it on air?
Well, it was good, yeah.
It was interesting. It wasn't exactly what I expected it to be. I quite honestly, I don't know what I was going to expect out of it. First couple of sips, I was like, I'm not too sure that that I'm into this. And of course, I let Lee try it, and I'd opened just the one, and she tasted it, and she's like, I like that. I said, so you want me to go open one of the other ones? And so I opened one and poured it up, and it took us probably about an hour and a half to drink one each.
Now, was it just because it's kind of tart. It's a little tangy. It's also kind of dry.
It's dry. There was no carbonation in it that I could taste at all.
No, mine are fizzy.
Yeah, these four, well, these two that I drank are not fizzy. They taste a little bit like wine, but a better wine. I'm not so sure that my body's going to be able to handle them, though, because I did not feel well the next day, stomach-wise. And I'm not saying anything is bad about your cider. I'm just saying...
You may not be a cider guy.
I may not be a cider guy.
Yeah.
I was going to give it one more try because we have those other two in the fridge.
I mean, my take on it, I've had 3 or 4 or so. The kitchen consumed one this week.
I saw the pictures.
Yeah. And it's dry. It's not as... It doesn't taste like caramel apple pie, like the recipe said, because the back sweetening just wasn't enough.
I guess that's what I was... It's not as sweet as I thought it was.
It's not as sweet as I had expected. My wife's not going to like it, which is why I made it.
For her?
She's not
a beer drinker.
She didn't like the smell or the... I don't think she's ever tasted beer, but she can't get past the smell. Either way, she likes sweeter drinks, and that's why I kind of took this recipe and made it. But I don't know. Well, we'll talk later about the near-death experience.
But all in all, I mean, it was palatable. It was completely different than what I expected.
Yeah, I mean, it's palatable, but it is not. It's not as easy a drink as I thought it was going to be. The last cider I had before this one was Angry Orchard. It's from Boston Beer Company, and that is a crisp, clean cider, but it's still kind of tart and kind of dry. So it kind of compares to this. Of course, theirs is all filtered and it's clear and shiny, but mine's homebrew. I mean, it's cloudy and...
Hey, it's supposed to be, right?
Yeah. I'm not complaining, but...
Yeah.
But yeah, the last one I poured was pretty fizzy. I mean, I guess I could show you. What would be cool is if we could get airplay up there. So I can just pop it.
Oh, that would be awesome, wouldn't it?
Let's get on that.
Oh yeah, write an app. Have it by next show. Yeah, for those who can't figure it out, this is green screened right here. It's kind of a test. So,
yeah, I mean, that was fizzy, and there's carbonation coming up like soda.
Yeah. So the two that I poured up would have been, I guess, one day before your 2-week mark. I think you said.
It was. So you drink them on Sunday?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
And they didn't fizz at all, because that's the one thing I was expecting, and Leah and I both were like, and believe it or not, that's what she liked about it. She said it's more like wine. That's the reason why she liked it.
Yeah.
She said, I don't want the carbonation. I was like, well, you're not getting it, apparently.
Yeah. Well, I was disappointed when I bottled it. You always taste it when you bottle it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very dry and tart, like Granny Smith apple kind of tart. And it was, that was a disappointment, because I knew it wasn't getting any sweeter after that, because I'd already, you put syrup and the corn sugar in, and that's not getting any sweeter from there. That's just getting more, But I'm going to let it condition. I've still got almost 2 cases left, so I haven't drank a whole lot of it. But it is sequestered to the backyard right now.
Due to
the near-death experience. I don't want to talk about it. We'll talk about it later, after a beer.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it. Today, we'll talk about this Indio beer. Now, we wouldn't ordinarily have a macro on the show, but this is not your average macro. It's not from AB InBev or Miller Coors. It's from a brewery that I can't pronounce. And I put this in Google Translate just so I could hear it spoken.
And you still couldn't?
I've forgotten already. I coached myself today a couple of times, and I said it, and then now I can't remember how it sounds.
I wonder if we can do it on the phones.
It's Cuauhtémoc Moctezuma.
Bless you.
Brewery. They have, they're based in Monterrey, but they've, in Mexico. And, they've got brewing plants and this is from Wikipedia, I believe. They've got brewing plants in Monterrey, Tecate, Navajoa, Guadalajara, Toluca, Orizaba, and beginning in 2012, Chihuahua. This is kind of funny. We Americans
Chihuahua
associate the Chihuahua
with a dog.
Exclusively with a dog, not with a city. Anyway, but I learned some things about this brewery that aren't widely known. They produce the Dos Equis line.
Dos Equis?
Dos Equis. Sol. I've
Stay
seen
thirsty,
Sol.
my friends.
Yeah. Bohemia, Superior, Carta Blanca, Noche Buena, Indio, Casta, and Tecate. I've heard of Dos Equis, Sol, and Tecate. Tecate.
I've only heard about the most interesting man in the world, which is Dos Equis.
Yes. I don't always drink beer.
But when I
do, I drink homebrew.
Yeah. No, I don't always drink beer, but when I do, it's Jim Beam.
But the word Indio, the reason this beer is called Indio, it had a different name. And let me see if I can find that sheet. There's a fact sheet that they sent me. It was called Cerveza Cuauhtémoc. So it was kind of named after the name of the brewery. But this was in 1893 was when this beer was released. It was first produced and sold.
So did they change the name because nobody in America could frickin' pronounce it?
It was unknown to Americans because this was in Mexico in 1893. The Dos Equis is almost that old too.
Oh, okay.
Crazy.
He does kind of look that old.
Takes a long time to do all that stuff.
Yeah, it does.
But no, due to the high illiteracy rate down there, they just called it by what they saw on the bottle, which was Indio, which actually stands for, or means, or, is defined as a member of any of the indigenous peoples of America or Eastern Asia in areas formerly subject to Spain or Portugal. So kind of a native Mexican. Kind of their Indians.
Not allowed in Texas.
Currently, Indio is only, they entered the U.S. market in 2012. So like the middle of 2012.
Oh, last year.
Yeah.
Youngins here in America.
Youngins. But they, I think at the moment, their offices, or at least the marketing folks, are in L.A. So I think it is distributed in California, and I know for a fact that it is distributed in Illinois. It is not distributed in Georgia. I cannot go buy this. This is kind of why it's a special day, because somebody sent me beer in the mail.
Boys and girls, you cannot get this in Georgia.
And I did not ask for it, which was really cool. The marketing people called me or emailed me and offered to send me beer. And what's funny about it, and I shouldn't tell them this, is that I didn't have to prove anything. I could be a 12-year-old writing, "Hey, yeah, send me some beer."
I think they've probably seen you.
They haven't seen my ID. That's the thing.
Okay, I can look at you. I know you're over 21. If they've seen you on the video, they know you're over 21.
Yes, but I think state law says that I have to look over 27.
Well,
or is it over 40 now?
Okay, you may have a bit of difficulty with that, but I don't.
You could pass for 37.
You're just being kind.
No, I was just seeing some young people who look like they have...
Look like crap.
Yeah. It's like, dude, how old are you? Like, 29.
When did you start getting Social Security? What do you mean? I'm only 24.
Yeah. With that, I've forgotten what style the beer this is, but what is...
All I can tell you is, since it was free, they chased you down, they sent it to you. I hope it's good.
It's an Oktoberfest Untapped. It's listed as an Oktoberfest Marzen. And I'm not really... It's got caramel notes. It's kind of malty, from what I've read. 128 calories. And 10.7 grams of carbs.
4.5% alcohol.
This says 4.1. The fact sheet from Indio says 4.1.
Well, Untapped says 4.5,
okay.
So, what's a few percentage points among friends?
Yeah. So, with that, we will pop the top.
Pop it!
It's kind of funny thinking the cap was placed on the bottle somewhere deep inside Mexico.
Well...
From there, it went to L.A.
At least we don't run the risk of being murdered.
From there, it went to L.A. and somebody painstakingly wrapped each bottle in 17 layers of bubble wrap and then put it in a very sturdy cardboard box. Thanks for the box, by the way. To get this beer to my doorstep.
Well, the smell out of the bottle is familiar.
Oh, and I should mention now, and it's hard to forget now that, because we hate, I won't say hate. Hate's a strong word. But we really, really, really don't like big beer companies because their cost-cutting measures take away from the quality of the beer. That is the gist of it. But something here wants me to think that they haven't changed their process or the way they brew this beer since 1893 But at some point, I can't remember when, this brewery and all the brands were, I'm saying a lot.
Yeah, don't make me have to edit this.
This brewery and all the brands were taken over by Heineken. So it's not one of the...
Grab a honey.
It's not one of the big ones, but I think Heineken's the third largest beer maker in the world. Not sure. Well, here it is. Off the bottle, a darker color lager brewed with caramel malts that gives Indio a rich taste which balances its natural bitterness.
There is no
bitterness. Is that a valid English sentence?
A darker color lager brewed with caramel malts that gives Indio.
I don't think that is a grammatically correct sentence.
Brewed.
We won't fault him for that.
Give, balances. Okay, well.
It kind of smells like Negro Modelo. I'll just say that much. Negro Modelo is a Vienna lager, and it's about this color. Mm-hmm. It's a kind of a brownish ale.
Well, it's thin. It's light. It's not what I'm accustomed to in a lager.
No. No, it's not.
The bitterness, just barely on the back of my throat.
There is some bitterness there in the middle and the back of my tongue.
Do it. Are we going to be brutally honest about this?
Yeah, they can choose whether or not to promote the show. I'm not going to say it's not drinkable. I mean...
I'm not going to say it's not drinkable, but it's flavored water.
It is light.
It is very light. It's like...
It's light and thin. I mean, if it's that dark, you really shouldn't be... You would expect it to be opaque.
Well, I expect to be able, whenever I drink something like this, I want to have the feeling that I'm almost having to chew through it. Something... It's got to be heavier.
You know, I said it was now owned by a macro.
I know.
The big.
Well, ironically,
brewer.
when you said that about Heineken, my very first taste.
I know, it just ruined the whole thing.
Well, I was thinking I was drinking a modified Heineken.
You may be. I don't like to say those things, but I also don't want to.
Well, the way I look at it is, they're not an advertiser. They're not.
They're not paying for this. I mean, they gave me the beer, which is awesome. But
this is a brutally honest review of what we think about this beer. This is not an undrinkable beer, in my opinion. However, this is not something I would buy.
Well, I mean, ice cold Budweiser is not undrinkable as long as it's ice cold. This is not as cold as I would probably need it to enjoy it more. Mm-hmm. Which tells me that there may be some rice in there or corn. The aftertaste is really just an unnatural one. It's.
We may have to have something to wash this down.
Yeah, I'll go get me one of those New Belgiums in there. Something. Old Jubilation.
Yeah.
We don't have two of anything in there except for the warm ones I brought in.
Yeah.
Mm. Well, I mean, it is what it is. They're going to market it. My first impression was with the bottle was that it might be okay because they're pry-off caps. Mm-hmm. they haven't switched to the
twists.
Yeah, the pre-carbonated twist-off caps.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to completely, crash and burn them on this, but I could see this in a grocery store right next to Heineken. It would fit right in with your corporatized beer.
And you would expect it to be there.
And this is exactly what I would expect it to taste like if I knew it was in that section. Now, if it's sitting in the craft beer section along with, and you know them better than I do, you know, the other guys,
Yeah,
any of the Victory Brewing or...
this should be far
any
from
of those.
Dogfish Head
Yeah.
and Stone. And
This would be a complete disappointment if I were to get this out of that section.
yeah, if this came from an American craft brewer, they wouldn't last.
Mm-mm.
But they've got the backing of multi-billion-dollar
It's got
corporate.
something. It's got something spicy in it, because it's
I'm not getting anything.
well, not as you're drinking it, but the back of my throat has got a little burn now.
It's called alcohol. You haven't had a drink in...
I'm going into withdrawals.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what alcohol feels like.
Well, yeah. This is something that I'd pop the top and would like chug in like 3 or 4 gulps.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna slam it, but something like this, I wouldn't put into a glass. I would just carry it around by the neck of the bottle at the party. You know? But they were really nice to send me the beer. That was
Hey,
great.
yeah, this is my 15th one.
Yeah,
Hey.
I can't put my finger on what else this tastes like. But there could be some adjuncts in there. That's what gives it that unnatural kind of strange bitterness aftertaste as it starts to get warm.
Yeah. It definitely leaves me wanting. You know, like, I don't know, wanting water
beer?
or a beer.
Not a cerveza.
A shot of whiskey.
You know, it's gonna be a damn terrible disappointment next show too. Unless we want to do like a mini show.
Why's the next one going to be?
Well, we've got to taste the Black Crown, like I promised.
What'll be awesome is to find out how if it tastes better than this. Sorry.
You know what? We could just go ahead and get. Oh, they're not warm, or they're not cold. So. Shit. You know, if they were cold, we'd just get the other 2 glasses out and just look at them side by side.
So they haven't been in the fridge at all.
No. I pulled them out of the fridge 2 nights ago, and I forgot to bring them to you yesterday.
Oh, okay.
That was the problem. Oh well. Well, it's
You are the master at preparedness.
I know. We had soccer last night, so
Okay.
I remembered it, but I could not get here. So it's gonna be a short show. There's not a whole lot more to talk about as far as this goes. You know,
Welcome to the new abbreviated Ben Home Beer.
I like to try to keep friends and have good experiences with people who, especially out of the blue, just send beer in the mail.
Yeah.
That's just not going to be one of those times.
Yeah, the thought is definitely appreciated. I mean, the fact that they reached out and would send you this.
Yeah, I mean, they want to get it out into the market. And by all means, if you like Heineken, if you like the macro beers, this has way more flavor to it than Heineken does.
Yeah.
It's got certainly more than Bud Light Platinum
Or Natural Light.
or Natural Light, but I wouldn't say that it's worth craft beer prices.
No. This would have to be about $5 a 6-pack.
That's the price point that they're going to have to make, but who knows? We may never see it in Georgia.
Okay.
I know that, but
Yeah, I know. I mean, even if we did, yeah, it would have to be right there next to the...
I'd have to say if I was just I need a 12-pack for cutting the grass. You know, I need weekend hot day beer
This would be
this
it?
summer. I would pass this up and
You'd
just
pass
get
this
the
up?
Natural Light
Oh.
or Keystone, actually.
Ooh.
Keystone Light. It's made by Coors.
Coors. Why not Foster's?
Coors.
It's Australian.
Foster's, they don't fit in the cup holder. And now I've lost my way. This show is just ruined. I said I wasn't going to wreck it. I knew that we would agree that it's not craft beer, that it's just an unnatural.
I guess you're nicer than I am. If if something tastes like shit, I'm gonna say it tastes like shit. I'm not saying this tastes that that.
I'm kind of I'm not returning a favor, but I'm not throwing somebody else's toy in the dirt.
You're not gonna throw them under the bus? Oh, come on.
Well, the bus ain't rolling. It's distributed in 2 states. They can't even get it in Georgia. And so when Georgians who've seen this show see it finally distributed in Georgia, and they go, I'm not buying that. Mm-hmm. And then it's just ruined. Oh, well. It is what it is. Sorry.
I'll have to go take a nap after this.
That 4.5% getting to you.
Oh, yeah, it's kicking in.
I mean, it's palatable, but
yeah,
I'm not enjoying this.
No. I just had to get it out of my glass, and the only other place to go was in my gullet.
What else is in the fridge? Seriously, what's in the fridge?
Seriously, what is in the fridge?
Because I don't think we have 2 of anything else cold. We should really keep a backup.
Yeah, let's see.
Just for that reason.
You got Coney Island Franktoberfest, Christmas Ale from Bales.
It's really late for Christmas Ale. They probably shouldn't wait till next year.
Oh, Category 5 Ale Winter Storm. And then you've got Old Jubilation Ale.
Old Jubilation. You know what? Pick any 2 of those. I'll have the Christmas Ale.
Is that the one from... Okay, that's the one from Bales. All right, which would you recommend?
Old Jubilation, I remember, is pretty... I don't think it's a stout, but it's kind of... It's tasty, heavy. The other 2, Winter Storm. Mm-hmm. Is that a stout?
It's an ale.
Well, stout is ale.
I'll go with how about we just do the 2 winners?
Okay. Because it's going to be a while before we get the other winters in, and it's just a bad time to theme shows after winter stuff.
Yep.
So here's the Bell's Brewery. Christmas Ale. That's just, this is like changing a diaper.
I guess I should have got the other glasses.
Clean glass is preferable.
Yeah.
Did I tell you I sent a glass back at the Moon River Brewing? They brought me my a pale ale in a dirty glass. It was like a piece of food stuck on the inside about midway up, and you could see the carbonation coming off of it, the bubbles forming off of it. And I was listening to a Beersmith podcast where, see, here I am, no notes. I can't remember names. Charlie Bamforth was on there. Charlie's the professor who teaches at the School of Brewing, professor of brewing science at University of California, Davis.
Okay.
Big, well-known brewing school. So he was on there and he talked about drinking, and he said, don't be afraid to send it back if it's in a dirty glass. And I just I felt bad about making him waste beer, but I was like, that glass is dirty. And the waitress was taken aback. I guess it usually doesn't happen, but
she's like, damn it.
She didn't care.
Yeah.
It ain't her money.
Well, hey, at least you didn't write on the receipt the whole 10% versus 18%.
You know, the lady could have given the 8% that she didn't give. So let's not talk about that.
I didn't bring it up.
You did.
No, I didn't. It wasn't me. I didn't. Oh, what are you saying?
Who?
You need to hurry up.
Is this a show?
No.
Should we have background music for all this dead space we're creating?
I can add it.
We might need to.
I can lay down a track for the entire thing, just kind of in the background.
Might need that.
Yeah, we got some royalty-free music I can do that with. Judas Priest. No.
So my near-death experience, and it wasn't really my near-death experience.
Oh yeah.
I wasn't even there. The babysitter. It was last Monday, so the first day that we had a babysitter. My wife's out of town. I'm going to work. I'm at work. But before I left, I looked at those bottles, the 2 cases of bottles in the floor of the kitchen. And they were in the floor of the kitchen because that's the only tile floor we have. Mm-hmm. And so if one of them decided to break or a cap popped off or something happened, it wouldn't run the floor any other place. So they're just in the kitchen. They've been there 3 weeks. Monday was 3 weeks in the bottle. And I was like, it's been that long. That's, 2 weeks they recommend for beer to condition. So I just assume, especially since it's beer yeast, it's a Nottingham ale yeast that we used, that it should have settled in 2 weeks,
right.
Or 3 weeks even. So I go, I'm not going to move them. I'll just, the kids are there. Whatever, they know not to touch them. Nobody ever goes near them. Nobody really even knows what they are. I left them in the kitchen, and what is it, 10:30 or 11:30? I get a text from the babysitter, and one of the bottles had popped. They haven't peeped for 3 weeks, and they pick the first day the babysitter's over with the kids, and it's not just a lot of times when one breaks, the neck will pop, or I figured the cap would pop off because these are put on by machine, but my homebrew caps come off really easily. You don't have to pry very hard to get that off. So I figured the weakest point is that cap.
Yeah.
This was a complete structural failure all over the bottle at one time. It was no weak point.
I think you called it a grenade.
It was a glass grenade, an alcoholic grenade with glass shrapnel. She said the babysitter said she swept it up, and nobody was even in the kitchen, and first thing I looked at when I got home, I was like, so they swept it up. I was like, well, where's the cap? They swept up the cap. I just expected to see, a broken neck and the top popped off and whatever, and then there's like this, generally, a 90% of a bottle with the top missing. No. It was bad. I put a post up on it that night, and it was just incredible to see how much pressure that is, and how well those caps could stay on. But yeah. So I've opened a couple since then, and they haven't hissed like I expected. There's not tons of pressure, but there's some pressure on them. But yeah, they got put outside now. It's
so no more alcoholic grenades so far.
And I swept again and mopped in there, and found 2 thumbnail-sized pieces of glass around the corner from where those bottles were. And then I found another piece of glass a couple days later, just under the stove, same size. So it was small pieces. Heck, I bet if we look close enough in the ceiling, we'll just see shards
stuck into the
ceiling. They said it was loud. Now I believe it. It was
Based on the pictures that you posted, I would have to agree.
Yeah, that was all that was left in the bottom of that. Well, I picked up the pieces out of the place that was sitting in the box.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, the bottom of the bottle popped. The sides, there was 1,000 pieces, I bet.
Mm.
It was a bomb. And just a few days before that, I was thinking, I think I'll send 2 of these bottles to Kyle in Arizona, because I still owe him pumpkin ale. I'm kind of glad I didn't, because they're
a little volatile. It's like sending dynamite through the mail. You don't.
I would get in so much trouble.
You could be labeled as a terrorist.
Yeah. So we're going to wait that out. And probably just do rush shipping, so it won't be in transit long.
I don't blame you.
Craziest thing. So beware if you're making fruit-based drink like cider. Yeah. And I'm still surprised that a manually placed cap still holds.
Mm-hmm.
And that bottle was reused from a microbrew that I bought from a Georgia brewery.
Right. So yeah, we needed to drink this thing.
For Brew Refresh Taste purchase before month March.
Yep. March is like, today's 22nd.
Well, it says purchase before. It doesn't say consume.
Details.
This says, I'm guessing, packaged October 22, 2012.
Okay, so this is a heavy seas winter storm Category 5 ale with a full ruby hue, rich malty character, and earthy hop aroma. Winter Storm is an original, an Imperial ESB for the winter months, 7.5%.
That's close to the percentage that I would, I would agree that you could probably cellar that for a couple of years. Just my preference is like 8 and above. But these winter ales, they're typically a higher alcohol content. These winter seasonals, because of so much stuff in them.
I figured it's to keep you warm during the cold months. I mean, why else do Russians drink vodka?
That's a purpose. Well, they drink vodka, so they find more words to cuss us out with. This is Christmas ale, and it's still Christmas over there, and up there in Michigan and across the middle of the country. And their winter storm is here now, and it's raining.
Yep.
I think it's supposed to rain all weekend, isn't it?
Matter of fact, we're under a flash flood warning right now from 1 o'clock today until sometime tomorrow.
I thought that was just from Lake Lanier down to Cordele. I thought we were south of it.
Well, the weather forecast, which is supposed to be local for us, pegged it that way. And Tyler gets he's on the kind of like the Weather Watch from the Ham group that he's associated with, and they send stuff out like that. So yeah, we seem to be in that. Something like 13 inches of rain tomorrow, or I could have that number wrong, but geez.
Well, we got.
I mean, the ground's already saturated, which we needed the rain, but damn.
We need it spread out over the couple of weeks in the summer, not all in one day.
Yeah.
But this is a Christmas ale from our fields to your holiday. A malt-driven ale, it's going to be thick and sticky. That's what it says. Made with 100% Michigan-grown 2-row barley malt and a mix of Michigan and Northwest Pacific hops. A bit of cheer from the North Country, sure to make any occasion festive. All right. Did you bring your Santa hat?
I wish I had. I can go inside and try to find it. I'm not sure. Jingle bells, jingle bells. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's raining.
As long as it's not raining,
It's a rainy spring weekend.
Yeah. It's
My
good.
hops are supposed to ship in April, so still got to get that ready.
Are we ready?
I'm ready.
That's what you get for being slow. You know,
I was drinking, and you could have already been.
I was being.
See, a machine put on.
I know. I
that
can't.
cap, and you had to.
I had to. You know.
You had to go at it from 2 ankles to get it off.
I bastardized the cap.
And they barely. My homebrew caps barely bend when you can.
See, I try to save.
off.
I try to save these, like that other one from Left-Handed Brewing, or I tried to straighten it out and give them to Oriana because she's got this massive cap collection.
Well, I have a coffee can.
Yeah.
I guess maybe a 12 or 20 ounce coffee can. It's almost full. I put every cap in there when I take a cap off. So.
Okay, now that is a nice looking beer. I want every ounce of that goodness.
Well, here we are. Michigan 2-row barley.
Come off of there.
You got to check into that too.
Oh yeah. Good.
Oh, this
call.
has floaties in it. This has solid particles in it.
I see that.
Yes. I'm not sure if you can see it on the screen, but this is what they call a malt-driven ale. I told you it's going to be thick and sticky, and there it is.
See if I look this up right. Heavy seas, winter storm. Yeah. Yeah.
So here we are, more quiet time while we check into Christmas.
Okay, let me see if I can. Okay, no, that's the smell.
That
I
is
expect.
natural. You could probably drink that at room temperature and be all right. That's Great Lakes Christmas Ale and Bell's Christmas Ale.
Yes.
Oh, if you're in South Georgia, I'll go ahead and start this. If you're in South Georgia and you want something to do this weekend, tonight, no, crap, not this weekend, next weekend. So glad I caught that one. Next weekend, March 1st and 2nd, there's a Stone Brewing tap takeover at Sweetgrass Dairy's cheese shop. It's a restaurant and a cheese shop. And March 1st, Friday night, is it's not a really huge event, but the 2nd, it's noon to 4. Anyway, the details are at sweetgrassdairy.com, or you can call 229-228-6704 and get the details that way. The cheese shop is at 106 North Broad Street in Thomasville. I have not been there, but I will be there that Saturday.
What date is it?
March 2nd.
Yeah, not this coming weekend, but next weekend.
Next weekend, yeah.
Okay.
I will be there March 2nd, signing autographs. I'm glad you got it.
Mr. Redbud, can I have your autograph? Yeah, can you sign this bill for me?
I'll sign that paper
Depends on what she looks like.
after you hand me a $5 bill.
I do autographs for money. Baby needs new shoes.
Oh, that's like a meal.
I know. Now this is bitter, but it has got that familiar.
You see this? It's like, that looks like the carbon bubbles are just standing there.
I can see that is
But that's
thick and sticky.
like, you can't spill it. That's a really good advantage to drinking this beer. It's so thick, it won't come out of the...
Yeah. Now this one's got some floaties in it.
Yeah, there's some particles there. And who knows, I could just, because it's old.
I don't care. It tastes good.
Oh, here you go. If you want to see that, the picture I'm attaching to this check-in has, let's see, finally some goodness.
Can't believe you did that.
What? Sorry, this is what we do.
Hey, you're right.
So the Stone Tap Takeover. Tap Takeover is a, it's not really an event. There's no tickets. Just show up. They will have, I guess, paid samples. I don't think that's free. All of the taps in the restaurant will have something from Stone Brewery on them. So they'll have some seasonal, some rare, some that you might know. I'm guessing they'll have Angry Bastard and Ruination IPA. Did I say Angry Bastard? I think I'm getting...
You said Angry Bastard.
Yeah, that's not it. Arrogant Bastard. They might have Double Bastard.
Angry, arrogant,
and
kind of...
yeah. Smoked Porter. I'm just trying to remember the beers from their flagship line, but they'll have more than that because I think there's 6 or so taps there.
Where'd you say? Thomasville?
Thomasville. Surprising place.
I know, right?
But representatives from the brewery will be there.
Mm-hmm.
You can talk to, I think they're maybe a marketing person or somebody will be there.
So does it cost, you may have answered this because I was too busy reading or whatever, but does it cost anything?
Nope.
You just go there and pay for whatever?
Yeah. And maybe they'll have dinner too, but no reservations, no tickets or anything.
I'd have to get a hotel room because I couldn't come back. I couldn't drive.
I have a driver.
You lucky bastard. If I talk sweet to somebody, I could probably have one too.
Well, I have a driver, and that just means we're not taking the motorcycle.
Hey. You know what? I think I need to get a motorcycle. Now that I'm going to be driving back and forth between here and Fitzgerald.
Wouldn't hurt.
I know. Could definitely save on gas.
You know, one of my students is joining the Army. I had to make sure I wasn't wearing my nameplate. One of my students is joining the Army. He might want to sell his it's not a moped, there's no pedals, a scooter. You can get up there in about 2 hours.
How about I just pass?
It's cool because you'll use only like 15 cents of fuel.
Okay, so that means I got to get
summer
up
you'll have to pay about 20 cents.
I have to get up at 4 in the morning.
Hey, as an American in these tough times, we all have to make sacrifices.
I think I've sacrificed enough.
You might sacrifice your life on a scooter.
I know, right?
On that 2-lane road.
That's true. A motorcycle I wouldn't mind doing because I used to ride, but I haven't had one in years. I don't have a license, so I'd have to go get that.
It's not that difficult. I know a bunch of dumbasses who have motorcycle licenses.
I'd just be one more.
Well, it would take a while to justify the cost because a motorcycle is a few $1,000s at best.
If you get a secondhand, yeah, and I wouldn't get a new because, well,
yeah,
duh.
I want a new one. But the new one that I want is like $13,000.
Yeah. I actually want one of those. I can't remember the name of them, but they're they're like the tricycles, but they're backwards. They got the two-wheel.
Can-Am.
Oh God, yeah. I love those. But yeah,
Have you ridden one?
I don't have to.
You love them anyway?
I just love them anyway. Okay. But the entry level one's like $16,000.
That's because it's really nice and it's meant to go touring Canada.
Well, the touring one is like $24,000.
We don't have to get the touring one, but.
Well, that's the one that you can actually have like your wife and your girlfriend and whoever else on with you.
How many people can you fit on there?
Well, at least 2. Somebody can sit in somebody else's lap, but.
Huh. You have to talk your wife into that.
I know.
Having your girlfriend sit in her lap.
Oh. We could try. I don't think she'd go for it. But yeah, the single one is it only seats one person, and 2 years ago it was $16,000, so it's probably more now.
I don't know.
I just need a basic motorcycle. Why the hell am I talking about motorcycles and drinking beer?
That's because we're slowly getting pissed here. We switched to like
Real beer?
8% alcohol. So now we're slowing down.
Cheers!
So I still have my ticket. I did not hawk it. I still have my ticket to the World Beer Festival in Raleigh. And I am excited to go. It's April 13th, a Saturday. And I looked at last year's layout, how they had things laid out. Anyway, last year's map, there was all these places you could go. There was just each wall had just a line of breweries and taps and whatnot. And then there was just one tent, or actually I can't tell if it was outside or not, but it was a room or a tent or something that was the VIP tent. And if I had a VIP ticket, I would be able to get into that tent.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's different foods and there's some beers that aren't available outside, but there'll be plenty to do with a general admission ticket.
Probably, sounds like it. You gonna take any video?
I may take some video. I'm not sure. All I'm gonna do is have my phone. So
Well, that's fine.
it shoots better video than any camera I have. So
Yeah, these are good. You got a 5, right?
yeah, so it shoots in 1080.
Yeah. We're actually looking.
Not a 5, sorry, 4S.
Oh, you got a 4S. Okay.
Same thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll probably take some video. I don't know how to do that. I mean, I know how to do that, but how I would present that. Some, like there's that...
You just shoot the video, get it to me, and I'll put it together.
Okay, you want to just send it there?
I'll tell you how.
Okay. Because we can go direct to YouTube. But
Don't do that. Because
I know.
I need to edit it. No, just shoot it like you normally would. You can hook.
I mean, like some journalists, they have that self shot and they're like walking around like this.
I don't do that.
That's kind of what I was thinking about, but then I don't.
Well,
I'm not a journalist, so.
The camera on this side sucks.
Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah.
But
So, no, you want to walk around like this
yeah.
and just do a lot of B-roll, and then all you got to do is hook that up to a Windows machine, and it shows up as a regular device, and then you just pull the video off, and I can let you FTP it to me, and then I can put it.
Here
I
we
can
are.
collage it. And,
Geek speak on a beer show.
yeah. Well, you know what? We're nerdy geeks who love beer, and technology, and comic books, and sci-fi, and
Science and beer.
see, that's what happened to the South Geek show. We should have been drinking beer. Well, you were. I know you were.
Hey, I was on board. I tried.
The rest of us weren't, but you were. Ben, what do you think about the latest product? I don't give a damn. I'm drinking a beer.
Ain't nobody got time for that. I didn't mean to get you mid-drink, sorry.
This iPad will explode.
Yeah, well, my wife's sending me pictures of something. People, this couldn't be timed any better.
What in the world?
My wife's boots were sitting by the bottles in the kitchen. This is the cap to the bottle that exploded. She found this in her boot just now.
In the boot.
Inside the boot.
Yeah.
So I actually did look on the ceiling. I was like, is there an imprint from the cap somewhere up there?
The cap didn't let go.
The cap
is still
never
on
let
the
go.
nipple.
The neck, this is the largest piece left of the bottle. It looks like that's the cap. A close-up picture of the cap.
Wow.
That is,
You need to be sure to put that in the show notes.
oh yeah. I'll also update that post.
Yeah.
Found the cap. Wow.
That's pretty awesome. Good thing she checked before she just slammed her foot in
She
it.
probably did slam her foot in it, but
Oh, I hope her
I had
foot's
moved-
okay.
I had moved her boots up on top of the washer when I was mopping, so that's why I didn't shake her boots out.
Yeah.
Wow. They're outside. That's a good thing.
Learning to,
I don't know what to say. I mean,
learning
that
to
was.
brew with Ben.
I'm not sure I'm making cider in again.
So I take it you've never had an actual beer blow up
No,
like that.
never. I'm surprised I haven't put too much sugar in, because you read all the stories and all the warnings.
Mm-hmm.
If you over sweeten it or over prime it, is what they call it, then you could have so much. If you leave too much air in the neck, then it's got all this volume here to fill up, creating pressure. And if you don't leave any room at all, then it's got no
It's got no give.
no give, no fluctuation. So, I fill them up all the same. It's about halfway up the neck or 3/4 or so. I don't know. Maybe there's a little bit more active yeast in that one bottle, but it's, wow.
Good to know.
Yes. So I may not put it in glass bottles again.
What would you put it in?
Well, you can do PET bottles, the reuse Mountain Dew bottles and whatnot.
Yeah.
But even then, I don't know. Or just make better cider.
I was going to say, if the glass gives, I think the plastic would.
Or I could wait a little longer, because fermentation had pretty much stopped. And then you put in the Camden tablets and re-rack it. So I waited 24 hours after I put the Camden tablets in. And the Camden tablets don't kill the yeast, but they stop reproduction.
Mm-hmm.
So there's still active yeast, whatever's left alive. Maybe I need to wait longer until what's left alive is kind of died down even more. I don't know. Camden tablets, that's what they do with wine. That's
Right.
why wine is flat. But wine takes months to ferment. So.
Mm-hmm. And a group of nuns jumping up and down on the grapes.
Are they nuns?
Hey, you all the time see these monasteries, that's how they get money, is they selling wine. They got some of the best wine. I don't know, maybe that was a movie I saw.
What was that?
It was probably a movie.
Forget it. I'm never going to remember the name of the movie on the show here. Something to do with Tuscany and Keanu Reeves or something.
Actually,
This show is turned to shit.
I remember it from, I know what I'm thinking about. It was the character named Desmond from the series Lost.
Never saw an episode of Lost.
Well, now you got to go back and, it's all on Netflix.
All of Lost is on Netflix?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll do it.
Or Amazon VOD, but I don't know if it's under Prime or not. So Netflix, definitely. Because that's actually where we watched it.
Netflix?
Mm-hmm.
House of Cards?
I've heard it's great.
It is fantastic. I just wanted to mention that. We won't.
What did the
Grape.
grape say when it was stepped on?
You got me.
Yeah, we got you. We understood that it wasn't grap. It was grape.
What did the grape say when it was stepped on? You'll have to tell us. I don't know.
Oh, he's waiting. Or she, whoever it is. Remember, there's nothing. But it did let out a little whine. Oh, wow. Come on. I should have seen that one coming.
Thanks for attending the show, by the way. I think you're the only attendee other than some automated account from HelpShay and
Yeah,
two admin accounts.
I'm gonna have to get all over HelpShay. He doesn't watch anything anymore. He used to be all kinds up in this stuff, but of course I don't know if he drinks beer, but
Well, then it's never too late to start.
I know. I mean, if you're living and breathing, you need to be drinking beer.
Where was I?
I don't know. We got sidetracked by the joke. I mean, that's how easily we're
Well, it
distracted.
wasn't the joke. We were sidetracked an hour ago. These are so long.
Well, it is 4:38 by on the eastern seaboard.
Holy
so
shit. We've been going an hour.
yeah.
Have we said anything yet? I mean,
Well, we determined that we didn't like a particular beer,
yeah, that kind of ruined the...
and then we had to drink another couple of beers to get past that. So, and we talked about your excuse me, your alcoholic grenade, and the fact that breaking news, your wife found the top.
Yes, just now, during the show, she found the top in a boot. Which is incredible.
So I think we're running out of beer.
While I'm promoting things for free, Southern Pride Craft Brewing Company is a homebrew store in Tifton. Now, we've talked about them before. He is filling a very wide gap in homebrew supply for local homebrew supply in South Georgia. I mean, the closest homebrew shop outside of him now is Tallahassee, which is at least 2 hours away.
He had a training session this
I was
past
getting to that.
Saturday.
He had a homebrew class, and apparently it went very well. And, he reached out on Facebook and thanked everybody who showed up. But if you're interested in attending a course, I have no idea what it costs or if he just kind of shows you for free.
I think he was doing that one for free.
Yeah, and it may just to gain interest.
Yeah. Well, it's good marketing. It's good, honest marketing.
Yeah. He shows you how easy it is to make beer. It's very, very simple to make a basic beer. You can, like I said before in some posts, it's as complicated as you want it to be. But there's a very straightforward process, and he shows you up there, especially with extract kits, the process is even shorter, and you can brew beer in the kitchen. I realize that some people manage to make meth in their kitchen, but this is way less complicated and also legal.
That reminds me, did you hear about those brothers who had won the lottery or some form of the lottery and were mixing meth and something else and blew up the house? Saw that in the news earlier this week. It's like, hey, what a way to celebrate.
Sounds good.
I just came into a sum of money. Let's have some meth and some other stuff. Oh shit! There goes my house.
Yeah, I've heard of folks with meth labs in the trunk of the car, so rolling down the road and the thing blows up.
Oh yeah.
So
I had a cousin of mine who I don't know if it was ever proven or not, and this was a shock to all of us. Of course, I'm not going to name who it is because, well, two reasons. Number one, it wouldn't be appropriate. Number two, I can't remember his name, but. His house blew up, and the rumor through the family was, yeah, he was making meth. I was like, okay, all right, there you go. That is not something I would ever attempt, ever. Making beer is one thing. Making meth, no.
But making beer is simple. If you have any sort of interest in it, keep up with Southern Pride Craft Brewing on Facebook, and watch out for the next class coming up. That's about all I have. We're going to be changing the show day here pretty soon. Friday's got taken up by something else, and we're happy for that.
Yeah, definitely.
So just watch out for the blog, and we'll let you know when the next show is. I'll also be tweeting. But that's all we have for today, and we're gonna wrap it up. But before we go, I always try to remember to remind everybody to not drink and drive.
Be responsible.
Be responsible. That's if you know what responsibility is, and we'll Make good choices. That's what we tell our kids. Make good choices.
Make good choices.
That's
Make
right.
good choices. Also, if anybody has anything that they'd like to add to any of these shows, we do have voicemail. You can call 313-718-2557. Just leave a voicemail. And if it's a good quality voicemail, something we want to share with everybody else, we'll actually we'll play it.
Play it on the air.
Yeah.
Or if it's another awesome grape joke.
Yeah. Call
Love to hear it.
Leave us some jokes.
But keep up with the show and find everything you need to stay in touch at benonbeer.com. And subscribe to the podcast with iTunes. You can get there by going to benonbeer.com/iTunes. We'll see you next time. Cheers.
See ya.
Production of the Anero Media Network. Your reality distorted. For other great shows, be sure to check out Anero.tv.